Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We're back. You saw nothing. We are here for the episode of Void. This is episode 9 of season 3. I named it something. You guys saw it. It's right there. You'll see it right below the stream. If you guys like what we do here and you want to see me restart streams multiple times, or you don't want to see that, Patreon down below. It's the best way to support that and my habit of doing very poor audio checks. While you're down there, join us in the Discord and come hang out and be a part of the conversation. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, Dot gets to do what the hell she wants to us. So far, it's been very terrible for basically 3 seasons. And 2, every single doll that goes into that bar goes back to these wonderful, amazing faces that you see here before you. Hashtag, that being said. Dot, take us into space.
Hashtag it, everything. Hashtag space is big. Hashtag space is big. They're fine. I don't always use the darkness points for bad things. I want to think last time I cashed darkness points in to assure that Lamara did not crash the ship and saved all of you from drowning.
I can think of 2 times you used it right.
What was the other one?
When you jettisoned the evil goo out of the ship.
And when I saved our Skirta-Putin droid, our little
Yep. Oh yes, you did. Yes, you did. A generous GM.
Of all the times of
that's
darkness
3
points.
specific examples right there off the top of our heads.
So I think
we say more.
I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to say more.
Fucking snow dogs.
Scooter Putin droid. Norm, get out.
Let's
All right.
That's so perfect.
I don't know. So much has gone down with this crew. Most recently, they were sent on a mission with some help to retrieve what they believe to be an emerald disc from inside of a lost vessel that had been lost for a year. Oh boy, did they find that and more underneath the icy surface of this moon, on the dark side of this moon in Uharu. Some things went down with their helping hands. Like one of them killed another. And things kind of escalated quickly. The special branch agent was shot directly in the face by one of the additional commandos, I think is what they were, that were here with you. That didn't simmer well with the crew at all, and a fight ensued. And the rest of the evening was spent in pursuit of this character, which led them into back into a hidden vessel, a potential white butterfly that seemed to kamikaze itself into the side of this larger ship, which they came to actually investigate. And there they found something, a ancient, possibly, Vestal, who, well, they didn't really talk very long with. They kind of just upset it, and it retaliated by consuming matter around it and compressing it into a small black hole. Our crew definitely managed to escape because Dot spent a darkness point to assure that Lamara flew the ship down to get all of you by dropping the cargo bay down into the water to quickly elevator you up. A lot of things happened in between all of that. And yeah. When they made it back off the planet's surface, it seems that the Vestal sent word to sleeping agents between the portals, and they sent out a blast that hit Uharu, destroying the ships, causing mass wreckage, and our crew had to do a daft thing. They had to make a blind jump. Where? We don't know, but with a critical success from the pilot. A blind jump was made, and our crew of the Defiant are the only survivors from the event in Uharu. But they don't know that yet. Because our camera picks up with Tau. It left off with Tau. Eyes creaking open, matted shut from days worth of sleep. You can feel yourself a little drowsy, probably from medicine. You can smell herbs and incense. Thank you for that corruption, Snowdog. Right now, I've dumped all my darkness points, so corruption is the only thing keeping us going.
All of them?
Just 0?
All?
Yes, I told you last time I dumped all my darkness points to assure that I dumped all of them. 17 is what we totaled last time into the remaining events of this season. There will be some hard things put on your plate.
Fresh start-ish.
Fresh start-ish.
No, it's not.
Fresh start. So basically, moving forward from this point forward, we'll be building fresh darkness points for. Have we announced, Mike? Season 4?
Yeah.
Season 4. Coming soon to a Twitch near you.
I mean, this Twitch.
For season 4, these darkness points will be basically building for season 4, but for the remainder of the season. So corruption is all we have to go off of. Last time I used the corruption to play a couple cards, I believe. Oh, hey, B. Yes, season 4. All right. Let's pick up with Tau. That sound of a medical bay. You kind of look over as your eyes continue to adjust to the dim light in this room from candles and incense and sun coming through these beautiful draped curtains. There is a woman that stands at the edge of your bed. She was the same woman that spoke to you last week. But also at the end of your bed is a man. He is holding a data pad, and you can see past him. There are other beds in this circular room, and the light comes in from kind of a centralized hole in the ceiling. And you can see your crew. 1, Alia, 2, Malik. But you do not see Lumara or Tamir.
The first thing Tal says is, Tamir, where's Tamir?
She says, sit back, rest. Doctor, and he kind of looks over and he says,
She
first
starts
one
trying to
awake.
get up.
No, she's gonna, you're very weak, and she can hold you down. She says, no. You don't understand. You've been under extreme cryo sickness over the last few weeks. You were lost in space. You and your crew. Tamir is safe. He's just in a different wing. The doctor, the man, very clearly in charge, he nods and he says, it is true, Tamir is fine. He just needed special medical attention.
Tal starts again, tries to get up.
He says, at least let us check your vitals.
Okay. Where are we?
You're in the top medical facility. On Kua.
How long have we been here?
Well, you came to us from a different system. He says, I know this is a lot to take in. And you hear the same kind of beeping start again from a machine as Malik and Alia start to kind of wake up. You two are into this extreme grogginess, that same kind of beeping and noise. And as you all come to, you see there are these droids that kind of float above you. They have these arms that reach down, and they are finishing up healing the tissue on Malik's leg, printing it, 3D printing. There's kind of like a piece of flesh that's still being healed. And the doctor says, the party wakes. Interesting. He makes a note on his data pad, noting that you all woke at kind of a similar time. And he says, how is everyone feeling?
Steph, how long have you been out?
Good question. We suspect you were lost floating in space for roughly 2 weeks before they found you amongst the debris that shot out of the portal to Yuharu. To our knowledge, you are the only survivors. The system is officially dead.
No. Millions. Lot just lost?
He says, we don't know entirely. The portal was destroyed on both ends, and it is a very long journey straight there. I'm sure you all know. But 2 weeks in that kind of sleep, but your body's under great duress, and the ship...
What happened to the ship?
Well, the ship was all but destroyed. It was towed back. It's kind of a miracle all of you weren't actually sucked out into space. The icons were looking over you, some would say.
Why is my leg being rebuilt?
Some of you sustained heavy injuries. And we had to bring you back here and put you into a medical coma to assure that your bodies could heal. We have given you the best medical treatment in all of the Third Horizon. In a week's time, maybe even by tomorrow, you'll be feeling right as rain. He says, this is a lot. I know. He says, I may not be the person to tell you all of this, but the woman, the other one you were traveling with, the doctor, she's quite something. From what we can tell, her body heals at an unnatural rate. She was not at all affected by the extended hypersleep.
Where is she?
The door open and you hear her go, "You're all awake!"
Tal finally kind of relaxes slightly and just under breath. Priest icons. Hamura, you gonna help me out of this bed?
Oh, she comes over and kind of helps you up, and she says, "You're never gonna believe what happened."
You know what? Why don't you tell me the story while we go see Tamir?
We can't see Tamir yet.
Why not?
Well, because camera cuts to the other side of this medical facility. Tamir. Your vision kind of comes to with the sound of technology and spinning vials and advanced computers and hummings, and these robots kind of are off in the side, and they're mechanically and perfectly tumbling a syringe as you wake up inside some kind of medical facility. You're connected to a basic IV unit, but you're all alone here. There's glass everywhere, on all around you, as if this is a viewing receptacle.
Peter doesn't say anything. I think he's just trying to see what's going on. Are there any people, any humans around?
You see a woman, a little what you imagine to be an assistant of some kind, in her white jumpsuit, kind of runs by, and she looks over to check you and sees that you're awake and starts. You can't hear her, as if maybe you're in a soundproof room, and she goes, and she runs over to a desk, and you see her press an intercom, and she says something. Again, you can't hear her, and then she comes over to your door and boops in a code, a passcode, and the door slides open, and this kind of quaint little petite 5-foot woman in a jumpsuit simply says, "I'm glad to see you're feeling better."
Where am I?
Well, you're on Kua.
Where's Tal? Where's Malik?
The rest of your crew is resting in a different medical facility.
Where? I need to get to them.
Just a couple floors away. Don't worry, they're fine. In fact, the doctor expects a full recovery once their bodies have healed.
What happened to their bodies?
The same thing that happened to your body.
What happened to my body? And he looks at me.
You look down, it looks normal. You're shirtless, of course. They have you in like a kind of like a scrub pants, almost like scrub issued medical pants. And she says, well, don't panic. But you and your crew were lost in space for a couple weeks. You were picked up in a different system outside of Uharu as the only survivors of what we believe to be a catastrophic event. Your bodies were, well, they sustained heavy damage, as did the ship. They tried to treat you locally, and the station's medical facilities just weren't good enough. So they called in the best of the best. The consortium, of course. You're all heroes.
I need to get to my crew. I need to get to the ship.
Unfortunately, I can't let you do that. It's going to require high security clearance to assure that you can leave our facility. Upon further medical inspection, we found some extra parts.
I have a few audio and visual upgrades.
You required special treatment. There's actually somebody that has been waiting very much to see you once you woke up. I should let him know you're awake.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, you'll be out of here in no time. Plus, the banquet's tomorrow night. And she kind of pats you on the shoulder and turns to leave. And you look over and see maybe like a clock or some kind of calendar on the bedside. You realize you have been out almost 2 weeks. More importantly, the most important celebration, the annual Cyclic Kid celebration, is happening tomorrow. It is literally a year. It's been 1 year to the nose, pretty much, since you and your crew met. That fateful year ago. Actually, just over a year, but yeah. But the banquet's basically come and gone. And it's come back around, and it is tomorrow Eve.
Tamir wants to get out of here. He doesn't like any of this. He needs to actually see his crew.
You hear a very small voice. Tamir?
Aurora.
Tamir?
Are you okay?
I've been hiding.
Stay hidden.
So they couldn't find me.
I won't let them get you, okay? I promise. Stay hidden.
Okay.
I'm glad you're okay.
Me too. There was a big explosion. We'll talk about it later.
He nods,
Of course we will, yeah. So you wait for just a little bit, and it's about 10 minutes or so before you see a couple figures. 2 figures, in fact. One that you know, one that you do not. A jolly, rotund man, your patron. Yeah, I know. Look at those faces. Somebody out there, give every one of those disgusted faces. Every one of them made a disgusted face. This man has not done anything to them.
No.
In my defense, I was actually burping at that time.
What a timing.
So perfect. So your patron walks in. You're the gentleman who's always interested in the artifacts, who funds whatever you need in equal exchange of you bringing artifacts. And it's been a relatively good relationship He's not tried to cheat you. You've not technically tried to cheat him that he knows of. So, you know, and he comes in and he's got a big smile. You can see he's dressed leading up to the annual celebration. It's kind of a week-long event of preparations and food events and giant decorations and family celebrations. And you can see that he's dressed in kind of his most exquisite attire, much nicer than probably what you usually see him in. And he says, "Tamir."
It's good to see a familiar face.
He goes, you look like you've seen some things.
A bit.
He goes, my boy. And he kind of comes over and he has to like hop to get on the bed, like the end of your bed with his, because, you know, he's kind of a short, squat man. And he kind of pats your leg and he says, my boy. You and your friends are what we consider to be true heroes. I very much look forward to toasting in your honor tomorrow eve.
I don't understand.
He goes, enough of that. What I'm really here for. Let me introduce my friend to you. And he gestures to a much taller, kind of broad-shouldered man. He's middle-aged, but he has a rather kind face, the way, like, you know, like a really warm dad might. He's got a very welcoming face. And he also smiles, and he says, it is a true pleasure to finally meet you, Tamir.
The pleasure is mine. And he kind of like who are you? Kind of like lingers on that.
Yeah, he's like, okay. Your patron simply says, this is a good friend of mine. We call him Sahid.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Sahid.
He smiles. No, excuse me. The pleasure is all mine. Tamir, you are an artificer, right? Like, you like artifacts. I'm gonna let you roll. I would say it is a. You can roll a culture check. Roll a culture check. It's got to be culture.
I've got no culture.
It's got to be culture.
But I'll take a 1.
Okay, a 1's good. You stop for a second. You run this through, and you're like, okay, he's. Why does that name ring a bell? And it's kind of like you're trying to piece things together as you're still a little foggy around the edges of your eyes, and you realize that name. It's only been mentioned a few times, and it's actually been mentioned by your patron. Occasionally, when you and Tao would bring things in that you might find amongst the junk and the asteroids, his auctioneer, the other person he buys the items in his great museum from. And Ashen's Emporium is the massive emporium, the kind of like high-end artifact emporium that he runs, that auctioneer, basically, or the man who runs everything. So your patron simply says, this is my good friend. This is the man that I acquire my very rare collectibles from.
Understood.
He says, I don't think you do. Do you or me? And he kind of gestures, and the two of them take a moment to decide how best to deliver the information. And your patron kind of makes a decision that maybe he could be the spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down. He says, Tamir, when we rescued you and your crew, well, when they rescued you and your crew and brought you back here, I assured that the vessel was at least docked privately until measures could be taken to fix it.
It's kind of you.
It became known amongst certain folk that the hospital here on Kua had acquired a young gentleman with interesting and unknown technology embedded in his head. Now I thought to myself, that's a rarity I must see. And to my surprise, when I arrived, it was you and your crew that laid under these nanites that fixed your body, and I saw you, and the hospital here is very interested in treating and helping people that have special technologies. In fact, with the right doctor, they may not consider this a problem at all.
I don't understand. There's nothing wrong. I'm fine. It's just a communications device.
He kind of now looks over to Saeed.
I got it down in the cellar. It's not the best. It kind of took a lot to get through, but I mean, it works.
This kind of gentleman says, it's come to my attention that you and your crew are very good at your jobs. You've acquired interesting and vital information to keeping the people of the Third Horizon safe. Am I incorrect in any of this?
That is a primary objective.
I imagine that amongst all of this, you've learned quite a bit of information about the political machinations, what's going on behind the scenes.
I try my best to avoid politics.
Except you find yourselves in the middle of what could be an all-out war.
We tried to warn people. Nobody
He says,
wanted
I've
to
no
listen.
doubt. He says, in fact, it's one of the reasons why I'm here. He says, I am a friend of a group called the Draconites. In fact, your dear patron here has been scouting you for me. I believe that you and your crew are a beacon of hope. When nobody else survived, you returned with the single bit of information needed. The icons are watching you. And so are we. I would like to assure that you receive confidential medical treatment and can join the rest of your crew here on this facility. To do that, I would like you to work for me as artifact hunters and information gatherers. Think on it.
I cannot make that decision.
Like I
We're
said,
a crew.
think on it. The items you retrieved from this strange vessel, the one lodged inside the Zenith. And he kind of reaches into a pocket on the inside of his beautiful robes and he pulls out one of the scarabs. And he says, now this is something that not the average hunter would be able to find.
It survived.
They all did.
What is it? I didn't even have a chance. We had to get out as soon as we can.
He pulls the kind of sheets back near your feet off of one of your legs, and you can see the burn scars, the ones that have kind of been left behind that Lamara couldn't quite take from you all those years ago. He smiles and he places the scarab flat side down. This kind of, it looks almost like a pendant, a flat side down on your skin. And he says, wait for it. And right before your eyes, a scarab, like a scarab type beetle, claws its way out of what seems like a fragile eggshell. And it begins to feed on the scar tissue. It doesn't hurt. There's no pain. It eats away at the scar tissue, leaving behind it kind of a pristine, clean, smooth baby skin. He says, it is an ancient creature of healing. He says, there was not a single droid in this place that could have done that.
It is a creature?
It is an artifact.
Something that powerful could help so many people.
I was thinking the same thing about what's in your head. But
What's in my
that is a
head?
discussion for another time. I will sign your paperwork. I will release you from this facility. I'm sorry that you had to be separated. They wanted to take precautions. I told them once you were awake that it would be a simple conversation. Tomorrow evening, I'll look forward to your answer. I would suggest that you take me up on my offer. I have the power to keep your records out of wrong hands. Not your hands. Stop it. Your friends, they are on the 3rd floor. It seems that they have recently awoken themselves. A lot of you seem tied to some unnatural energy. He kind of smiles and looks over at your patron. Your patron's like, he's like picking his teeth a little bit. He goes, so you can keep using the private docks, but from now on, you're going to be dealing with, well, that is if you take the deal. Of course we'll take it. And he kind of smiles and waddles out after him. And you see them both stop at the kind of station that's not too far away. He signs something with a stylus. And the same little cheerful woman comes in and says, well, the doctor said you're ready to go.
And Tamir just like springs up and whatever. He just doesn't
Would
even
you
wait.
like me to escort you?
No, I'm fine. I'll find it myself. Thank you.
Okay. She kind of watched you go. She goes, are you sure?
Yes, I will be fine. Thank you. At 3rd floor.
Okay. She kind of waves as you walk like out of this facility, and the glass opens up. And it opens you up into a massive indoor medical facility inside of like a white sandstone building. It's fucking huge. There's like gardens everywhere. The whole place feels like a kind of like an indoor rainforest almost. It has its own kind of natural, beautiful atmosphere. There's these heavy smells and aromas of spices and incense, and the whole place has this vibe of calm and serenity about it. Some people are out in chairs, like beaming with these probably artificial beams of sunlight. You're not entirely sure. You can hear birds living in here. Part of the wildlife may even be growing out of the building to touch the external world of Kua. It seems kind of intertwined in some way. People walk around and bustling past you in medical uniforms. This is a really, really big place. And as Tamir may even have to stop to check a directory to get there.
Barefoot and in pants.
And pants. You have you still
No,
have like,
does
I
not
imagine
give a fuck.
did you pull your IV out yourself?
Oh, fuck yeah. He ripped
Okay,
everything off.
okay, well, if that's the case, I'm gonna need a roll.
Oh.
Because this is a metacurgy check on yourself to rip it out without doing any damage or pain to yourself. So give me a metacurgy check. If you don't have it, it's just a wits check
It's
to
a
rip
wits.
this from
I'm
your
good
arm.
with wits.
Okay.
Wits is good. I got 5.
You at least knew how to pull it out. You did manage to, so you're not connected to anything. I'll give you that. You might be bleeding a little bit from the arm where you just didn't like cotton ball and band-aid it kind of a thing, you know, like minor, but from what you can tell, you're good to go. And the camera kind of zooms past you and follows the trail that you will eventually take up and down a flight of stairs past a beautiful koi pond with a little park, and left and then right and down to the 3rd floor, where we find the rest of the crew sitting there. And somebody, Lumara said he's in a different facility. a facility that treats people with extra parts. She kind of points to the spot where Tamir has tech, like illegal tech, y'all. Okay.
Oh, right. Okay, well, we need to go there then.
It's kind of a confidential lab. He's gonna have to be signed out by the person that put him there. That's just how it is. He'll be out in no time. He's not even awake yet, I don't think.
How are you fine?
I don't know. I just woke
Oh.
up. You all didn't. They tried to
Okay.
put me into a sleep coma, but the doctor said the medicine wasn't working. But I wasn't really sick to begin with. I felt fine.
Huh. What have you been doing for
Must
2
be-
weeks?
Good biology.
Taking care of all of you.
Oh. Huh.
Makes me feel a little better.
Alia
He
looks
smiles.
very concerned.
She comes, I mean, she says, I wanted to make sure you got the best care, and nobody cares for all of you like I care for you.
It's true.
She looks a little crazy.
Dot, when doesn't she?
The doctor's like, yes, in fact, Dr. Lamara has been of great help. The last time her medical records came through here, we were unable to treat her and sent her to Coriolis. And she says that was a long time ago. Because yes, a year, in fact. The doctor says.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, a lot can happen in a year.
He says it's true.
So can I see my ship?
I may not be the person to ask for that. We've informed the right parties that you are awake. There are several dignitaries that would they've inquired quite a lot about when you all wake up. So I imagine you'll have some visitors rather shortly. I'm Minash Al-Harim, your doctor.
That's the doctor. Okay.
Hello, Minesh. Would you happen to escort us, or could you escort us to our final crew member who's not here? We just want to see him.
I can't. As per consortium code, he is under watch. At least until they release him.
And when is that?
When they have either...
Can you at least let us know his condition? Because
he's stable as well, from what we can tell. His body just needed a different kind of diagnosis and diagnostic.
Why?
Because as your dear Dr. Lumara pointed out, your friend had some extra tech. And all individuals that come into a consortium hospital and use consortium resources and have illegal technology must be treated as fugitives. Good news for your friend. He has friends in high places. And somebody very quickly bought the right to assure that he didn't go anywhere until they saw him.
Oh, so that's for sale now.
He says, it's Kua. Everything is for sale. And he kind of pats you on your leg and he says, I will come check on you all soon. You seem to be doing well. He looks at all of your, diagnostics very quickly and he says, we'll give you some time. I imagine you all have much to speak of.
Tal's blood pressure has been steadily rising the whole time.
And as the door kind of slides open and he goes to walk out, he almost bumps into Tamir, who is unharmed. Tamir's unharmed. Standing there, medical pants, staring at all of you, and he says, it seems that you are awake and you have
He just moves right past him.
Yes.
Does not care who the fuck he is.
He says, Dr. Lumara, we'll check in after this. And she kind of nods like, yeah, go away.
Nice pants.
Are you all okay?
Are you okay? We all woke up in the same room.
My leg was blown off in an epic space battle.
And he kind of like looks over. Is it still being like repaired?
Lumara leans in and goes, that wasn't all that was blown off.
Jesus Christ.
He checked.
It's
That
okay,
was
they fixed
corruption
you
bar?
though. Yeah, corruption bar number 1.
And why is my credit count like real low? What did you pay for?
Grades.
Bowling balls.
This feels heavier.
Tamir had extra parts. Lamara wanted Malik to have extra parts too.
extra parts is an Al-Assad trait, apparently.
Why have 1 when you can have 4?
Wing.
But Lumara is like Dr. Dead serious about the whole thing. Just dead serious. She was very concerned for you and your health.
Okay.
I'm so sorry
Alia
about the
runs up, or not runs up. She like purposely walks up, goes up to Tamir, and I'm assuming that like already like she's done this with Eris not Eris, sorry, Tal, where she kind of, because right now she's in pretty much mother mode. She's like checking over everybody. She doesn't trust like technology. She doesn't trust doctors really much. So she just has already done a once over on her. Now she's in like teacher mode or mentor mode. So goes up and like does like a once over of Tamir just to make sure. And she goes, "Are you doing okay?"
This is a lot to take in. I'm just so relieved that you're all okay. And he'll kind of like cup Alia's face for a second, just like
Aww.
like it's just good to see.
They're there. They're really there.
Yeah. This isn't like some dream. It's not the tech going like wonky or something. This isn't like an astral projection.
She gives a gentle hug.
No, hug her back. Malik, Tal, you're all okay?
They won't let me get up. Tal's still sitting in bed looking very mad.
I can't get up. And he points to his leg.
I just really want that moment of like in Mulan where it's Yao like just sitting there all angry, and then he picks what's his face, picks him up because go away. Just start shaking like gently.
Just go pick her up.
Lumara says your leg will be fine. Just give it time to finish printing.
Samir is gonna do one of these to the leg gently, but like
It
as he
hurts.
walks
It's
by.
little. It's like raw meat. A little raw.
Gross. I hope it leaves like a sticky substance on, because it's like being like re-stitched, right? So it's just exposed wound.
It's just that like plasma.
Yeah. So we're both
Lumara
uncomfortable about it.
Lumara says, this is like the best medical facility there is. It's called Perona Quay. You would all know immediately what this is. This is the largest hospital facility in the Third Horizon. That's not on like Coriolis proper. It is on Kua, and it is inside of it is part of the monolith itself. Remember the monolith, the big giant thing that you can see from space? Yeah. Lumara simply says, you know, they kind of woke us up on this other space station, and they tried to put us under medical coma so they could ship us here because they weren't really, they didn't have the technology to say print Malika lower half, so.
Like,
I mean,
like the whole lower half?
Pretty much.
Basically, she's saying he's a Ken doll.
I'm saying that he was not ever a Kendall. He all of you sustained extreme injuries. So they kind of put you back together and built you back. You're like brand new.
Dot. With this information, like everything's slowly starting to click in Malik's head because he just woke up and his legs in parts. Can I look around this room? Is anyone else in here? Is there security? Like Malik is now
You
getting
have a
suspicious.
private room. Yeah, you start to look around. Your sheets are satin. There is not a hole or a tear in a piece of furniture. The curtains hanging from these beautiful windows. This place is pristine. You are probably being held in the top of the line medical facility and getting top of the line care that you in your lifetime would probably never be able to afford.
In like 10 lifetimes.
Is our stuff around?
You look around, not from what you can tell, you all seem to be in like a similar like hospital type scrub type scenarios. They have backs. These aren't like backless gowns. Lamara sees you looking around and she says, "Oh, your stuff. There wasn't a whole lot left when it was all said and done. Well, they took the drive off of your body. And you know, the ship is docked at Coriolis. What are you looking for?"
Lamara, how much of the ship is left?
Tal's face just falls.
A cat just threw up at my feet. I thought that was a weird sound effect playing in my ears.
Perfect.
Definitely not. Definitely my cat throwing up
We
at my
can
feet.
take a break.
No, we're good. I'll clean it up in just a second. We're good.
Don't step in it.
Yeah, don't. Oh god. No, I can see it. Okay, we're fine.
You
The
sure?
joys of owning a cat. Yep. So okay. So she says, ask me that question again.
How much of the ship is left?
She says it's before or now.
Now?
I don't know a whole lot because I've not seen it. But it's under reconstruction at the moment. About 60% of the vessel's original construction was lost in the explosion. The reactor is no longer functioning, I guess, and we lost a lot of, the exterior. So they're replacing most of it and putting it back together. When we blasted through to the other side, they said that that's like being shot out of a cannon, kind of into space, and it kind of tore the vessel up. It's pretty much a miracle that we aren't just lost in cryogenic coffins floating towards a sun somewhere.
What about the bridge? I assume it's still fairly intact because Tal is here.
Tal, everyone looks over at Tal and she just has tears just streaming down her
Lamar's
face.
trying really hard to
looks...
ease into this, and she says, the good news is your patron already started to rebuild it.
No. How much of it was
pretty
left?
Close to being done. The bridge, I don't know. They said that the second floor kind of core of the vessel was the only thing not injured, which were the cryopod rooms, part of the bridge, and that's about it. Everything else was spaced and lost. A lot of the cargo was strapped down, so some of it was left remaining.
Hal can feel Tamir's fingers kind of interlace with hers.
I don't like this.
Rebuilding a ship that's over half gone.
Well, now it's over half back.
Why bother rebuilding a ship that's over half gone?
Because it's the Defiant. It's our ship.
I don't.
Is it?
And Malik's eyes kind of dart back and forth between Tal and Tamir. I don't mean to be insensitive, but we might have a problem. If they're just all over the ship, taking the liberty to rebuild it. I downloaded my apartment.
Malik, don't say anything right now. Is there something to write on?
Sure, yeah.
Cool. Tamir is going to let go of Tal's hand for a moment and just like scribble on like his bed sheet.
Oh, you know what? Lamara hands you a stack of folders because she's Lamara. She trusts you.
Oh,
she
great.
hands you a stack of like paper folders for you to like scribble on. As you go to write, you realize that it's a stack of all of your medical records, your medical examinations over the last few weeks, but she doesn't even think about it. Go ahead, write what you're going to write.
Okay.
Ruff, 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 ruff. Hospital pooch. Here for pets.
Yes. Hey, everybody needs a good hospital pooch.
It's true.
It's the best heals. And so he'll scribble down on it and like rip part of it off, part of the folder off, and hand it to Malik. And it's basically like, was in a high-tech facility, do not trust, could be bugged.
You hand this over to your brother. As you tear this piece off, the actual records from underneath the folder on top are now revealed. They're Lamara's. There's a series of redacted things with a big fat black marker, basically, some redacted pieces. But you do see something if you want it.
Yeah, I want it. Of course.
Roll me a perception check. I'm gonna see how much you can get and how quickly you get it. Like, I want to see if it's obvious that you're looking at the medical record, or if it's
like observation.
I'll take an observation. Yeah, give me an observation. You see it. Damn. You rip it away and you hand it to your brother. As you look back down, your eyes can't help but pick up this data, this piece of information. It seems that she does heal at an unnatural rate, that there's some kind of cell regeneration happening, which is kind of unheard of. And they located, when they did scans of her body, they located extra glands that humans don't have, special glands, at specific points on the body. From what they can tell and the tests that they have run, there's some kind of pheromone gland. From what they can tell, it makes people, regardless of really who they are, like adults, people that are of mature age, rather enamored with her, like a sexual pheromone, which makes total sense coming from a succubus djinn. Tamir, you see this just momentarily. It says, yeah, it's just like right there, like extra glands. She's got 6 extra ones all over her, like at different points in her body. You've not actually got to see her like Pepe Le Pew the place up, but
But can we not with the Pepe?
Le Pew, yeah,
That's not with the Pepe.
That's not at all what it's like. She has no idea either. Like, you can tell based on the notes alone that like she's completely unaware. Like, they haven't maybe even told her, because like she just She was like, here's our medical records. Like they've been letting her play doctor for a week, more than likely, or 2 weeks, for all of you to like keep her quiet, so that they could keep her around and run tests on her. But these are the things that they found, that she's got some kind of fast healing processing. A lot of the drugs they give her don't seem to be working, and they found these extra pheromone glands.
Okay. Tamir will just kind of tuck that info. That's a brother convo for another time.
The one thing they don't know is what causes the glands to what's the word I want to use, release the pheromone. They don't know what the trigger is.
You guys.
Interesting.
About the he doesn't want to say the word, but like he gestures.
Don't worry, I took care
like
of that.
Ball.
Who does he gesture this towards?
All of them. He was asking, where's the gin ball?
Where'd you put it, Lamara?
Oh, it's safe. I made sure that nothing was going to happen to it. When all of you went down into that scary ice moon, I went looking for it. I found it. And I asked you all if you left her on the ship or not. And the next question she asked you was, do you still have that? Where did you put it? And what was
I hid it, though.
Yeah, and she was like, I hid it.
She's alone.
You left her. Y'all left Lamar alone for quite a while, a few hours.
Man.
Don't worry. I hid it. It's safe.
Okay. Is it?
Thank you.
Don't worry.
Why are they bothering to rebuild a ship that was only 40? Why not just get a new ship at that point?
I told them that you would want it back.
Oh.
Plus, it can't live up to its name if you don't at least defy fate once.
It's been a few times, but
Every time.
is it? It's gonna be different.
Why? I just replaced your body with new stuff. Are you different?
Probably.
I would say no. Because at the core of who you are, you're still Taltuma, the best pilot in the Third Horizon. Right, Tamir?
Damn straight.
And if I might add, to me, the Defiant is wherever all of you are. And if this is the ship where we are all going to be, this is the Defiant.
This is your fault, Tal. She kind of gestures to like the camaraderie, like family vibe that's happening.
Malik pulls the manila envelope and pen out of Tamir's hand and flips it over and writes just 2 words, all data, and then underlines data, and then slides it back to Tamir. Or sorry, underlines all, not data. The important word is all.
He takes it back, scribbles it like, grammar.
It's always a pain.
Tamir just nods.
We need to check
About
the
this
mainframe.
time, this doors.
That's it. That's all he says.
The mainframe of what?
The ship. The database.
Oh. Which one? You mean Coriolis' database?
No.
Or the Defiance?
So what Malik is trying to get across is that he downloaded his whole all of his shit to his tablet and then to the ship. So everything from the 6 months that he was gone, everything that we illegally stole from Hamura, everything we have, minus the new blue disc, was on the database for the Defiant.
That database, yep.
Granted, it was locked
sure
and
it
like
was encrypted.
yeah, it was locked. Like he went through the ropes and locked, encrypted everything that he had. But still, best case scenario, it blew up and we're like inconvenienced. Worst case scenario, someone has it.
I would say, as Malik did go through the database at one point, he would have found that Tal did actually do an encryption on it. It wasn't like a ridiculously good one, but it, it would hold up to a decent attack.
She installed Spindo's firewall.
This is basically you're not sure at this point. You just don't know at this point, like, right? Because these are just things Lamara can't answer. But Lamara does say, "Oh, I almost forgot." And about this time, she goes to open her mouth, and the door slides open. And standing in the doorway is another middle-aged gentleman. A polite smile on his face. Again, he doesn't carry a stern look. He seems very pleased to see all of you as he steps into the room. I am Veron Sedona. Oh, I'm so sorry. I should introduce myself. He laughs again. I am Veron Sedona, the gentleman who is assuring you all have received the best medical care that you can. Oh, and that you will be honored tomorrow evening for your brave and valiant efforts for the Third Horizon.
You all seem to be saying this, but you haven't told us what we are exactly being honored for. We just got shot out of and survived.
Well, last time I checked, your crew not only braved the trip to Towin and back, as well as here to Kua to attempt daring efforts to save the life of an emissary, but you took a suicidal trip all the way to Uharu, to the dark side of a moon, to dig in icy waters, to find a single blue disc. And you made it all the way back when no one else did.
I'm sorry.
Rather impressive,
how many?
if I do say so myself.
Excuse me. How many people know about that?
He goes over to the wall and like slides his hand down it, and like a HUD screen, like a TV HUD screen, like out of one of the walls. And he says, "Well, let's see. Floop, floop, floop," and he switches the channel to the news. And there's a woman, you've seen her before. She interviewed Kasha. She says, "Third Horizon, have we got news for you? It has come to our attention, breaking news, that the heroes of the Defiant are in fact awake on Kua. We look forward to the celebrations tomorrow night where they're going to honor these heroes, true heroes of the Third Horizon, out there fighting the evil, evil First Horizon." Now back to you, Tom. He swipes the TV off. I'd say most of the Third Horizon at this point.
Oh.
For the first time, you just hear Alia go, "Fuck."
Cal looks like she's gonna be sick. She is just getting bad news after bad news after bad news today. Why couldn't they have just let me, die?
We can't let something like that happen. In fact, the five of you have defied death on more than one occasion. It has come to my attention. He says, "I want to know more. If it is true that the First Horizon is here and they are seeking to undermine us, we need to know why. What has brought them here now? And the data that you brought back, the scan of the strange vessel, the White Butterfly." He said, "That too, very interesting."
Is it?
He says, "Oh, I definitely think it is. Please, let me give you a moment.
I'm sorry.
Clothe yourselves. I've sent new wardrobe in for all of you. I'll be out in the gardens if you'd like to join me. I have assured that you have been given permission to leave your beds."
Excuse me, before you leave. How did you get that scan?
Well, it was, of course, in the data banks of all of the suits you were wearing.
The suits that are property of the Defiant, which is property of...
Actually, in fact, I believe those suits were paid for by the consortium, so it was property of the consortium.
Oh, fuck.
You were bright one, Malik. The files did not lie about you. I look forward to speaking with all of you in the gardens.
Files?
And he kind of snaps and in walks a woman with kind of a couple stacks of clothing. Actually, probably 2 stacks of clothing. Kind of sets it on the end of the bed and
I'm sorry,
he says,
files? Files?
"Yes, I'll see you all soon." And the door closes, leaving all of you standing there once again. She says, "Isn't he so nice? He's the man that's paying for your ship."
Like multiple files?
I guess so. They said they have all kinds of files on us now. And that blue disc that we brought back, they said it had super duper important information on it. At least that's the whispers that I've been hearing around the water cooler.
Alia is panicking right now. She's just like they okay. And she just sits down.
All right.
What are you freaking out about?
No one in this crew is to reveal anything that isn't, from what we know, common knowledge.
Like
And
what?
Tal looks at every single one of them. Anything that you don't know, other people know for sure, keep it to yourself until we know exactly who we can trust here.
They know everything. They know about
They
our
don't
past.
know everything. Alia, if they had to interview us, if they still have questions for us, they don't know everything. Let's not give them things that they don't need to know.
You're right. You're right. We've been through worse. I've been through worse. I've gotten out of worse. Okay.
You know, not the right time, but you're super duper sketchy for a priestess.
I think she's rather pleasant. She's kind of like sunshine most of the time.
Yeah.
Alia
Do you think
gives like
this would
a
look good
small
on
smile.
me? She like shakes out his shirt.
Where did you find that?
No, the woman just brought in all these clothes for us because you're still in the scrubs.
You're
Here,
dressed.
toss me something.
Well, yeah, but she's like wearing very much a white uniform that they like gave her to play nurse for the last few days. She goes, "But you
It's
all
the
get
same
new
thing she always
clothes."
wears.
Yeah, basically the same thing she's always in.
That's why
It's just
Malik doesn't
nicer now 'cause
notice
it's
it.
all
He's just like,
torn
yeah,
up.
that's what the that's you. Yeah, you're already dressed in your normal clothes. Yeah. Malik throws some clothes over and he starts sliding a pant leg on.
Lamara comes over to you and she goes, "Hey, I have a question, a hypothetical one.
Uh-huh.
You know, say I had a friend who may have said some stuff, and then another friend's like, 'Hey, don't say that stuff,' but it's too late because you already said it. Is that bad? Hypothetically speaking." Corruption bar number 1.
Hypothetically speaking, what did your friend say?
You know, they just were honest.
About
There's some stuff I don't know, so I didn't tell everything. Just
uh-huh.
some stuff.
Like what stuff?
They said I had to debrief. They used military words. It was very intimidating.
Uh-huh.
It was official. I thought we were working for them. I didn't know.
What did you say?
They asked me what happened.
Mm-hmm.
and I told them that we did this job. And then one of the commanders went missing,
Mm-hmm.
which is true.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of you went to the surface, and I don't know what happened while you were all down there. But then I caught life signs, and I picked you up on the surface. And then when we got to space, there was this like wave that kind of came out, and it knocked all of the ships. And then we did a blind jump, and we snuggled in the thing. And that's pretty much what I told them.
Pretty much or exactly?
No, that's all I told them. Hey, you know what's good news though?
No.
Well, the tank of like, you know, radioactive, chemical,
Uh-huh.
debris. Well, that tank did not make it out the other side of the portal. So, you know, there's no proof of our lost friend.
Great. Yep. That's great. That's that is good news. Okay. I don't think
You don't think Tal's gonna be mad, do you?
I don't think Tal's gonna be mad.
Oh, and I gave him the blue disc.
That's fine. That's what the job was.
Corruption bar number 2.
That's what the job
I
was.
gave it to them.
Did you give them anything else?
My name?
Uh-huh.
And they ran some tests.
On?
They said I'm normal.
Oh, you. Okay.
Well, they ran a lot of tests on all of you.
Uh-huh.
I pretty much know the ins and outs of your bodies now. Which is good. You know, I don't actually have all the equipment on the Defiant to run proper diagnostics on everybody's health conditions, but now, well, I'm informed.
Great. Yeah, I think
your blood sugar's your blood pressure's a tad high, Malik. Low carb diet?
I think he just he looks at Tamir and then looks back at her like deadpan with several blinks in between and goes, I can't imagine why. I think
what
you're
about
fine.
this one? And she holds up like a totally ship's gears again to like another shirt. And all of you are able to put on some semblance of like normal clothes if you would like. And you've been given free reign to roam the hospital grounds, which is huge, as Tamir found out. At least for now. This gentleman that came to you said that he was waiting for you in the gardens. If you would like to join him. You cannot. That's fine too. No, I'm sorry. He said there's a meeting room. There's a meeting room nearby, which is it's like a mess hall, like a massive mess hall for the hospital where there's like food and fountains and carts of tasty eats and things like that where people can go to break from the kind of hubbub of the hospital. That is where he is located.
After everybody's kind of dressed and starting to leave the room, Tal grabs Tamir's arm and says, "Hey, are you actually okay?" Can't hear you.
I'm muted.
Now you're
Now
not.
you're good.
Still? Oh, so weird. Okay. I'm concerned.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sorry about the Defiant. I didn't think that. I thought the calculations would have been enough, would have gotten out.
You know what? Like they said, it's a miracle we're alive, so I'll take that. Tal laces her fingers with Tamir's. But are you actually okay?
I'm physically, yes, but We're in a lot of trouble. I'm in a lot of trouble. And I can't talk about it yet.
We'll figure it out.
Just be careful what you say around me. I don't trust myself right now.
Okay.
They know about my communications device.
Hmm. Tal just looks really thoughtful and slightly frustrated. She doesn't really say very much, but her brows are furrowed, and she just looks frustrated, like she's trying to solve a puzzle that she can't quite even grasp the edges of. Well, just if you start losing fragments of time or something, tell me, please.
Apparently, we're losing half of our bodies. So, I mean, what more? What else can we lose, right?
Don't say that, Samir. I've already lost most of my ship.
I'm sorry. I know how much that home meant to you.
Technically, we still have it. It'll be weird, though.
It's not the same.
It's not. Well, all right. I guess, dude.
Oh, you should see this real quick. And still holding the documents, Tamir's gonna show Tal Lamara's.
You actually flip the first page open,
Mhm.
like the front of the folder, and you can see the full thing. You also have everybody else's medical records in your hands.
Yeah,
I was going to start
do.
reading through.
Oh God, Tamir was not going to.
You like
Hal
lay it
is.
open. The very first thing that you see
You got to see this? All right.
is like one of those, like, you know, like an autopsy report. It's like the blank body, and you can see the areas of red that basically were not there when your bodies arrived. Or that were like heavily injured. So you can see, like, Tamir, your entire left arm was rebuilt. You can see that Malik's lower half was pretty much rebuilt as well. Alia, you were missing large parts of your legs as well, and like lower, like back half. Tal, you had a lot of damaged tissue around your face. Whatever your eye implant was, they didn't feel like was like worrisome enough. That's pretty standard tech. Tamir's is not standard, I guess you could say. They weren't worried about yours, but they rebuilt a large portion of like your face around that piece, your ear, the back of your skull, and down your neck. So you can see on each one of you how much like wear and tear your body has underwent. Most of the reports say that this was damage due to crushing, because the tubes themselves crushed in around you. So what actually happened is like your lower spine, Malik, was damaged, so they removed your lower half and replaced it. So forth and so on. So yeah, they kind of found you guys crushed in cryostasis, which is basically what left your bodies alive long enough to bring you back, put you into a medical coma, and rebuild your bodies. Lumara's medical records show no injuries.
And extra glands.
And extra glands. And they have the points like on the body. You can see like like they went and colored in or whatever. There's 2 glands behind her ears. There's 2 glands in her wrists. And there is 1 in her lower back. Like 2 in like her lower back area.
Okay. I just kind of note that in my head because wow.
Yeah.
After I kind of finish skimming through, because Tal's not going to sit there and read note for note, but try just to get the idea of what exactly happened to them, how they were found.
I would tell you this: Tamir's medical record is not here.
Yeah.
His is in a different wing. They're not going to give that one up until he agrees to what they want.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna just kind of close the folder and be like, well, looks like we're all really lucky that someone rich wanted us alive.
They only want us alive because we can do things no one else can. We've done things no one else can. Our patron was there when I woke up.
Oh,
He had a man with him, the auctioneer, Saeed.
okay.
They're paying for this. They want us alive because they want us to work for them.
Wait. That wasn't Saeed that was just here. That was
No, that
Barone.
was
He
Perona.
said he was paying for it.
Did I mishear that? Or are there a bunch of people freaking bidding on us right now? Okay.
Not miss here.
Okay. Cool. I didn't get, because it could be me, it could be my memory. Just wanted to clarify. Great.
So who's actually paying?
Tell. Us. We're paying. We're a commodity now. We were a commodity then. That's why I didn't want to do anything with the patron. My brother and I left Algol so that we could be our own people with our own choices. Not having others in power decide what we can or cannot do. This is everything I didn't want. That is a face to be frozen on?
That is a face to be frozen on.
Yeah,
That's,
be like, is that
that's
just
how I
me?
feel too. That's how I feel too.
Yes.
I know
Oh,
Eris was
no.
having internet difficulties earlier, so the internet may have dropped.
That's
Oh,
okay.
no.
How's everybody doing? This is my check-in point. How are we feeling? Safety tools, we use them at this table. This is me just
Mhm.
checking in.
Feeling gimpy.
Good.
Okay. Well,
God damn it.
I got chopped in half.
you did, but your business functions again.
Wow, Dot. You know, you're nailing the
Your
important
lower
parts.
half business, which includes feet and legs.
We had a
And
good
sitting
cover.
and heinies.
Solid cover there, Dot.
I got you. Oh, it looks like we lost
Solid.
Eris. How about this? The camera cuts. Do we does everybody kind of get dressed and go gather?
Yep.
Okay. It's a little bit of time. And when you all kind of reach, we'll say this, actually, to give Eris some time to come back, Alia, do you go off by yourself or do you wait for the crew?
I think she definitely waits for the crew, because at this point they're all out of their elements and she wants to stick with them.
So you're kind of standing nearby and what's just a waiting area. Oh, perfect. Outside of here. And you're thinking through everything that happened. Maybe you even take a minute to try to piece it all together. You know how like after you dream? It's like things fade, but they're still there. If you can just remember, if you can just hook onto it. And you start kind of recalling the process of them like removing you from space. Like you see these strange flashes, something here, something there. And when you kind of shake this off, this like living back through this kind of nightmare situation that's like going into surgery, but your amnesia comes up too soon, you know, that like pain that the body will feel or those kinds of things. Like it's like flashes of that. And as you shake it off, and maybe it's a door or somebody that walks past, you look down the end of the hallway. I'd like you to roll me an observation.
Okay. Hey. Where's my character sheet? Where'd it go? There it is. Observation, which I don't think I have at all.
That's
Yep,
okay.
I
So
don't.
it'll just be a wits roll.
What's wrong? Yay.
What'd you get?
1.
1 for all of our listeners at home. A 1. Your eyes might be playing tricks on you. There's a high possibility because I mean, you've definitely been under a medical coma for like a week, bare minimum. But you see a nurse at the end of the hall. She's in like a long white robe, big sleeves, and something about her, maybe she even looks over her shoulder. She's bald, and she pulls kind of her hood up and over as she goes to enter a patient's room or go down the hallway somewhere. And just for a moment, it makes you think of Sholey. As the door next to you opens up and the rest of your crew walks out, all now dressed in, you know, attire, Talon, Tamir included, and all of you head down to this mess area, we'll say. This meeting room has heavy rugs that cover the marble floors and a set of comfortable armchairs. You know, there's like food. There's like a table of like really nice food that's out. Fresh fruit and such, decanters of wine. There's honey water. Pretty much anything that you could want in here. Tables for people to gather. But you can see this man sitting in his robes on like near the 2 chairs. You can see that he has 2 bodyguards. They're not armed. They don't carry guns, nothing like that, but they're very clearly bodyguards. They're Alia's size, right? They're very clear. They're very, very much there for a reason. And they stand just off to the side, so you could almost ignore them if you wanted to. And he sees all of you come in, and he stands and smiles once again and gestures for you to join him on these very comfy couches.
I'll stand, thank you.
Yeah. Suit yourself. He
I
smiles.
feel
I
like
think
the
Ollie also
whole
stands.
crew is just, yeah, we're just
Awkwardly standing
there.
in the door.
Yeah.
No one sits. Everyone just kind of stands around, arms, or at least Tal
Yeah.
stands around, arms crossed.
Alia's is in her sleeve like this, just
I see that there is some tension. Questions? What can I
Lots
do
of
to answer them?
tension, lots of questions. I was actually I was informed that somebody else was supposedly paying for our stay, and now you're
Oh,
telling us that
he
you're
says-
paying.
He says, "Oh no! I'm paying for all of you." And he gestures to Tal, Malik, and Alia. And he says, "Unfortunately, Tamir was outside of my jurisdiction." He says, "And I'm paying for the well, to update your vessel. Beautiful ship."
Why?
Why, he says. He looks around as if somebody else might laugh for him. And he says, "Why? Because the 4 of you, 5 of you, if you include the doctor," he says with a strange lilt on the term doctor.
Tal's face darkens at that.
If you look at the situation, the 5 of you risked your lives to return a disc to the consortium. We owe you a great deal, a lot more than any money can buy. You do understand what the 5 of you have returned to us, yes?
Nobody will tell us anything.
While you were all healing, we had a chance to excavate data from the disc. Quite a bit of information that you pulled from the Zafirah. It reinforced some hypotheses that we already had in place about what happened in Talon. The judge our mutual friend, spoke very highly of all of you. It seems that you are incapable of failing a mission. Now that is a crew that deserves at least a little recognition.
The thing that I'm failing to understand is when we asked for any recognition. I actually don't want recognition. So I was definitely given something I didn't ask for or want. And you expect me to be grateful.
So sorry. He says, actually, I don't need your gratitude. It is me trying to show you great gratitude.
Okay.
He says, I'm sorry if I've offended you, but unfortunately it is not in my jurisdiction to say whether or not tomorrow's celebrations will be in honor of who. The fact of the matter is that the people of Coriolis have spoken. You are, well, you've brought a little hope to a time that has been very, very dark for this place. And on the eve of the great celebration, we believe, the factions, that it will do the people some good to celebrate 4 heroes.
5.
5 heroes. Right, the doctor. He says, I'm not asking for anything in return. The ship payments, your medical bills, these are all compensation for returning the disc. You don't owe us anything more.
Tal relaxes a little. Just a little.
Will we get to hand pick our security detail for life, or?
He smiles. He says, no, you have no need to worry about that.
Really, because you guys blamed one of the council factions on the Mysticides, and you just touted us as the heroes that stopped the Mysticides. So if they actually caused them, they're not going to be fans of that.
He says, well, the good news is you returned a blue disc that disproved the majority of that.
Someone still caused it, and they're not going to like that we stopped it.
Is there something you'd like to tell me, Malik?
Yes, I'd like to hand pick our security detail because I don't trust you as far as I can throw you.
Oh, you're talking about the insurgency. Yes, the what was his name? The missing commando. Did we ever figure that out?
Oh, you mean the 3 missing commandos?
Well, the doctor's debrief.
You scrubbed our suits, right? Because you own the suits, is that correct?
We did.
So then you recorded
time and
you recorded Farouk or Dala saying that your special agent was a traitor, shooting her in the face, and then trying to frame them, followed by them flipping their story.
The suits don't record anything.
Really? Because I recorded a lot on mine, because I could play back audio of Nadina talking shit. So...
When did you play back audio? Not on... You did... I'll tell you this. You did not play back audio on your scuba suit.
Oh, it might have been the wrist terminal thingy? Maybe it was my tablet terminal?
Yeah, but that is basically a computer.
Okay.
There's not... It's basically you use that to scan the ship, and that's what you sent back. It's not really... It's not like a voice recorder or video recorder. That's not how it works.
Gotcha.
So what you just did was gave up all the information to him, and he says, I see. So there was a traitor amongst you. Wonderful. I'm going to have you make a manipulation roll, but you can take a +2 because you told him the truth.
So to shut your mouth, Malik.
He's very
but nobody ever fucking listens to Tal.
He's so upset.
To be fair,
so upset. I love this.
I did play something back in the other episode.
You did.
I did.
Technically. Yeah, but I think I let you use your data pad for that, not your wrist thing.
But my data pad we said was on the scuba suit because it's a scuba suit, and my data pad would have died underwater.
Yeah, but it's still a data pad. That's different than like their wristwatch, basically.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming was on there.
So you had something special.
Right.
But the rest of everybody did not. And that's something special. I don't know. I guess you could have recorded everything that was put over your comm. Like if you wanted to record the entirety of everything that was sent over, which means every
We-
conversation that y'all had would be available to them. I will give you that choice with this +2 for this manipulation roll. What'd you roll?
I didn't roll yet, but I'm trying to figure out
Okay.
if we had any sus
Because
conversations.
that means they would have heard everything. Which maybe
Oh,
there were
no.
no sus conversations.
I don't think we had any suspect conversations on this trip. Just me being sassy a lot.
Yeah, because
I'll say yeah, Dot.
as soon as the-
Mine had a
the
tablet built in.
security was there.
Yeah. I
Okay,
will
so-
also say
So he said, okay, go ahead.
so with a +2. First of all, what am I rolling manipulate for?
Because you're trying to keep the truth from him.
Okay, got it. Cool.
But you're getting a +2 because inevitably you've told him the truth anyways.
I am going to invoke another +2, I think.
Okay.
So this says when trying to scare or threaten somebody. I think this is as close as Malik gets to either one of those those things. So it's someone that knows that you have a faction association. So I will ask you, Dot, if this guy's file is worth a damn and knows Malik's previous employer, would I be able to get a +2 because my talent is faction standing syndicate member? If he
I would
wouldn't, if he
say
would not know my
yes.
background, then I won't take it.
Okay. I would say he knows a lot about all of you.
Okay. So would
He knows
that
a lot
be
about all of you.
would
That's
that be a
very clear.
+2 based on my?
So I will give you the I will give you the +2, but though yes, I will give you the
Okay.
+2.
Then in that case, oh wait, submit.
Okay. Critical success. 3 critical success. So I will say this. You're like, what? Did you not listen to the blah blah angsty Malik comment, blah blah?
Yep. Mhm.
And he says, in fact, we decided that since your data pad did not belong to us, that we would leave that up to you. But like I said, the blue disc, which belongs to us, had all the information that we needed. I understand your worry and concern. We sent an agent with you. That was... He kind of looks around, part of the Nazarene. But you already know that, don't you, Malik?
Here's what I know. I know that the last time we worked with your security forces, the officer that was sent with us tried to kill us. And then this most recent time, the 3 people sent by you to work with us tried to kill us. So, I restate, I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. And my brother's the strong one.
I understand. He looks over at your brother. Yes. Tamir.
Yes, sir.
He smells. There's no need for such formalities. I'm going to say, Malik, with your +2, you're going to know this man. You're going to know a couple things. This man is the operational manager of several of the Foundation stations throughout the entirety of the Third Horizon, including Station 21, which is on Pyre, which is in Pyre, in the Uharu system. So they would have been the first to find out about what you were all doing, and probably the first to know that you were all going to be there to begin with. More than likely, he signed the paperwork that said you could go and do this mission. It has long been a fear of mine that the Forgotten faction may return. I recognize that we may not have handled our business with the utmost quality. In fact, we have trusted far too many, but it seems the one mistake the consortium has not made is in all of you. I would like to offer all of you a chance to continue working with us. If it is true that the Nazarene sacrifice has returned, and they are trying to undermine us in any way, then it does not matter what faction you are part of. It does not matter if you are a First Come or a Zenithian. It does not matter what planet you hail from or how many portals you have jumped. We all have a common enemy, or at least we should. We want to show you our gratitude. And I recognize, based on all of your files, that this is not something that you've received very frequently. You have until tomorrow night's banquet to let me know if you'd like to continue working for us. We would love for you to continue fighting whatever malicious force is out there. We'll give you whatever security you want, even if it's your own security. But the fact of the matter is, the Third Horizon needs all of you, this crew of the Defiant. And we are willing to assure that... Well, I am willing to assure that whatever is offered to you, we can beat that offer.
Well, I guess apparently we've got a line then, so I'll let you know.
This is wonderful. Well, I look forward to toasting with you all tomorrow eve. And he says, oh, and I have assured that you will all have suitable attire for an evening such as this. I don't have your exact sizes, and he kind of looks at all of you, ending with like Alia, tall, you know, and he says, so I thought maybe it would be better for you to choose yourself. He pulls out a card and hands it to you. It's like a hollow card. And he's,
Platinum.
Yeah, it's that black card.
fancy.
And he hands it to you, and he says, this is a shop you can visit.
That's Starbucks.
I've already paid for everything. You can suit yourself for tomorrow's ball. And he says, I'm again sorry if we have offended you, Tautuma.
We're not expected to dance, are we?
He says, you're not expected to do anything but show up. You
Even
are
that's
the
gonna be
guest
difficult.
of honor.
All right.
All of you. He says, you'll sit at the front table. The factions will probably honor you. There will be a speech made, no doubt. And you may have to have your picture taken, at least in a couple places. And he kind of smiles. But I can tell you that the people of Kua, of Coriolis, and he kind of gestures to the sky, knowing that it's up there floating in orbit of the planet that you're currently on. He says, all those people need to see you, all of you. They need to see people just like you fighting the things that's trying to rip us apart. He says, and you know what? Even if nobody else buys it, you all give me hope. And he stands. It has been a pleasure to share time with all of you.
Not many people say that about us.
Well, I'm not many people. He says, have a good evening. I hope you'll really consider my offer. The people of the Third Horizon need you. He says, no more working in secret. I know that the crew of Defiant works best in shadows, but it's time to come out of the darkness and shed a little light. I'll see you all tomorrow eve. Like I said, dress for the occasion. He stands. When he does, the guards kind of straighten up and they fall in behind him. A lot of people kind of whisper because he's very, very clearly important. This is what he looks like here in his blue robes.
Oh.
Ooh, there he is.
Those are pretty blue robes.
Yeah, pretty
Cool.
pretty teal robes.
Quick question, Dot.
Mhm.
Based on the conversations that the crew has been hearing and the news, I'm sure that they've heard more tidbits from news like around. Has the mysticide ended? Has the prejudice, like, is that in reverse now that they know more of the truth?
Reverse is hard, right? Because if the Mysticides were technically being done by not by the order of the pariah, but done by the Nazarene sacrifice, they're still out there. What they
Yes.
did was like insert their political
Mhm.
agenda. So as long as the Nazarene sacrifice and the First Horizon are coming back, more than likely the Mysticides will not end. In fact, Ali, you would know, at least from your time with Sholi, that in fact more and more mystics are awakening. Um, some mystics, actually, you know, we'll hold on this.
Yeah,
On that
okay.
note, this is perfect. On that note, you get that sensation again, and you look over your shoulder, and you see this same nurse, like long draping sleeves, and their hands are tucked, and they look over their shoulder. This time, the hood down, and you swear it's Sholi. She disappears. This woman into a room.
Alia turns around and goes, I'll be right back, if you don't mind.
Go too far.
No,
You can hear Lamar like, "Oh my gosh, can we match tomorrow night, Malik? What do you want to wear? Teal, purple?" And she's like going on and kind of like getting really excited about the fact that they'll
Tell
have
you what,
like,
you can
yeah.
pick both.
Really?
Yeah,
And you wear it?
sure.
Great. And she's kind of like very excited now. She's like, this is, and so Alia, you kind of get up and you don't walk very far. It's as if you're kind of in a common space, and there are 4 exits out of this room, and one of them goes down this kind of long hallway, and you see the room she kind of jutted into. Do you follow in pursuit?
Yeah.
When you get to the room, you're kind of met with that same like noise of like a lab in the background. This seems to be a workspace. There are no patients in here. It's a smaller lab where like medical stuff is running. There's like diagnostics, you know, there's some kind of drone in the corner that's, again, he's like you know, tipping blood in a vial or something like that. And in the back corner, a beam of light comes through naturally and hits this white robe. And as the woman turns around, it roll observation.
Okay.
It's gonna be tricky for you.
I think once again it's going to be, what is it?
Just wits.
Observation. Wits.
I'll give you a +1 because you know Sholi.
Okay. Come on. Yeah.
It
Natural
doesn't look
3.
like her, but it does look like her. You don't know if she's using some kind of technology to like alter her face, or if she actually has prosthetics, but the voice is really of no question. And she says very simply, "It is so good to see you, Alia."
Alia walks forward, doesn't really say anything at first, and then just like hesitantly at first, but
She
reaches
says,
out.
"Go
And just,
on, it's real." She kind of puts her very bald head kind of forward so you can touch her face if you'd like.
yeah, and she goes in, like just lightly touches her cheek.
She says, "Unfortunate necessity. Living and hiding is difficult, and technology only goes so far.
And
Julissa
immediately,
helped me find a new face, I guess you could say."
Alia immediately just starts bawling.
Oh,
She breaks down and just like you just see her like crumple into her arms.
she goes, "My child," and kind of takes you in. You're much bigger than she is. And she kind of wraps you in an embrace. And she says, "What is it that troubles your mind so much to bring you to weeping?"
She's not like coherent, and she just like, it takes her a moment to just kind of recoup, and she goes, I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me, and
Sorry. She says, "For what?"
just I could never compose myself like you have.
She says, "Alia, I just told you I had to change my face to survive." You don't want to be anything like me. She kind of tips her chin up and wipes a tear away, and she says, I saw your face on the news.
All these years, that's what I've been avoiding, and here we are. I missed you so much.
I have missed you as well. It seems that you've taken good care of the crew.
I mean, not much I could have done. They are already so well accustomed, and
You do not
if
believe
anything,
in
they
yourself
took care of
enough,
me.
Alia. You do not believe in yourself enough.
I'm actually not trying to be humble for the first time.
She actually laughs a little bit at that, and she says, good. Being too humble. It's overrated.
I'm learning. They are, if anything, they're the ones teaching me, and they're far more capable than I ever was at their stage.
Again, you undermine yourself. You're much stronger than you know, and I don't mean these. And she kind of squeezes your arms a little bit, like your muscles. And she says, as much as I would like to say I am here on a social occasion, you and I both know that's not true.
There's so much I need to catch you up on. If you didn't know already, I don't.
Says,
Knowing you, you might already.
She says, we will have time. Many of the fears that I had seem to be coming into reality. I sought out an old wise woman. Tried to look into the past or the future. Anything to give us more insight than we have now. She saw an ancient clock break, crumble.
Whoops. Sorry.
From it poured both light and darkness. I found it interesting, Reed. And no matter how many times I went back, it was always the same. A crumbling clock, light and darkness that spill forth. But this last time, the vision did not end in the light. As it blasted forth and dissipated, she saw great destruction and ruin. I have long feared that the Nazarene was not as asleep as we thought. That the wars did not, in fact, rid us of them. It just caused them to go into hiding, like rats in the floorboards. And they've bred and multiplied. And now there are too many of them for the floorboards to hold.
Perhaps it's time that we pull them back. The boards, I mean, and expose them. I am so tired of running. And it seems at this point, I don't have the option anymore. We don't.
I would call that a blessing. Nobody deserves to run their whole life, Alia. No.
Does that mean you're coming back?
I can't yet.
I understand.
But you have an opportunity. The Mysticides aren't gone. But really more light has been shed on that issue. If it was in fact the Nazarene sacrifice, the majority of my life has been spent in pursuit of the wrong thing. This will be the last time we see each other for a while.
Feels like
Your new
that's
life in the light means that you don't have to walk with mask on anymore, Alia.
I think when she says that, Alia stands a little taller, reaches out, and then like you just see like a depressure sound or whatever, and then like she finally takes that mask off.
She says,
Perhaps
now,
you're right.
there you are. I must go.
I think. One thing.
Yeah.
One thing. So knowing Alia, because I'm her.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
True story.
She has taken notes this entire time, like documenting that, because that's her job. Or at least part of her responsibilities was documenting everything that she's done. She goes, I know that we don't have much time, and I know I might not be able to cover everything that has happened, but these are a copy of my notes that I've taken so far, of everything I've done, everything I've seen. Perhaps you can make sense of it better than I, or maybe find something in here that I have missed.
She says, Alia, I didn't come see you to take your notes. I
It's
believe
a
that you are.
copy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She goes, I will take them, but I believe that you are fully capable of interpreting those yourself. She kind of takes the papers or whatever you have, the stack of information or a journal or however you have written this down.
I think actually it would be something written down like archaically, simply
Yeah,
because
like
that's
actually
less likely to
handwritten.
be like hacked or.
And I imagine that maybe is something that you and Sholey
Mhm.
used to do. Like that is
Yeah.
how information is passed.
And I think it'll be written in something like a code that only they might understand, simply because they don't want the wrong guys to see or interpret it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And she says, I'll be around for tomorrow evening. You don't think I came all of this way not to watch you get honored in public. I'm so proud of you, Alia.
I am what you made me, or at least helped make. I guess I need to stop taking.
She
start taking
smiles
responsibility.
once again and puts a hand on your face, and she says, you mean the thing that you made? Until our next meeting, Alia. And she kind of tucks her hands back into this and pulls the hood up, and almost unrecognizable as Sholey to somebody that may not know her. But you know those eyes, you know that voice. Some things will never change. She looks over her shoulder once more and smiles at you to reassure you that it's going to be okay.
And before she leaves, one last thing that Alia says is, I think also it is time, perhaps maybe if she allows it, I think you need to talk with Samira as well. Samira, sorry.
Yes, Mira.
Amir. Well,
yes,
her,
Amira,
yes.
Samina.
Samina. Yes,
yeah,
there we go.
Yep, Amira, Samina. She kind of stops and she looks over her shoulder and she says, yes.
She may need you more than I need you.
She smiles and she says, no. I think she needs you more than she needs me. She'll be at the ball tomorrow night, no doubt. She never misses an opportunity to get dressed up.
You are right.
She says, remember, you cannot save everyone, Alia. But it doesn't have to stop you from trying.
Yes.
Go forth. Bring light where you can. She kind of like nods as the hood falls down even farther, blocking her eyes, and she turns and leaves and kind of files in line with a group of other nurses wearing similar kind of robes, and she almost disappears into the crowd.
And then, like, under her breath, she goes, see you soon, Mama. And then turns around and walks out.
And as you do, I imagine they're still collected just there, maybe even getting up to leave. The doctor, the gentleman who was originally in the room with all of you, comes out to meet you, and he says, I'm glad to see that you're all up and on your feet. Look at you in real clothes and everything.
Yep, that's what happens.
Dr. Minash, he says, well, I can't keep you here any longer, but you're welcome to stay as long as you'd like. The rooms are at least available to you for the next 24 hours. Until, of course, tomorrow's big celebration. Let's see. Ooh! Sorry, gang.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. And he hands you all like a slip of paper, which is, or like something that has been signed or has the right barcode. That's basically how you get out, right? So that you can check yourself out. And he hands each of you one, Lumara included. She's like, I don't need this. She needs that. She doesn't think that she's being held here, so she doesn't think she needs that.
It's fine. I'll take yours, Lamara.
Okay. It's like an extra. She
Yeah,
like
that's a
hands it over
mistake.
to you. And he says, I look forward to tomorrow evening. Have a wonderful time.
Great. Excuse me, before you leave, were we already given somewhere to stay that's not in the hospital?
Oh, he kind of pulls up his data pad and he scrolls through. Yeah, actually, there is a note here. You have all been put up at the local hostel, 5-star.
Any idea what's the name on that reservation?
Taltuma.
Any idea who made the reservation?
It looks like private funds. Maybe, let's see here. Oh, the reservations seem to be under the name of Fadina. Nope, I'm gonna have to say this one. Fida Din Harama is her name. We'll call her Fida.
Fido.
Yep.
Got it. No, I'm kidding. No, that was terrible.
Oh,
Don't do that. No,
gosh.
say yep to that.
Commander
That
Fida.
was bad.
Don't say yep to that.
Yep.
Don't agree with me. Please don't agree with
Too
me.
late.
Din Hamara. Yeah. Fadaya Din Hamara seems to be in charge of that.
And
He says, it looks like somebody in this Zenithian homogeny has their eyes on you.
okay.
I'm sorry, come again?
I was gonna say, do I recognize that name at all? But that
Great.
just-
I will take a command roll from Tau or a culture roll from the rest of you.
Is that an or situation or and situation?
I will take or
Timir's not rolling. He
One
wouldn't know
or the other.
high
Okay.
Zenithian
Whichever one is up.
people.
Okay.
Okay, because
Hey.
I'm
Little
nice.
bit there
Success.
for Tau. Let's
Yay.
okay.
Yeah. Oh wait, let me roll that once more because I accidentally still have the positive.
Oh, the
From the
plus.
pre-
We'll
plus
take
one.
the last die away, just on that roll,
Okay.
which is a 2. So you succeeded anyways. Okay,
Okay.
so you're good. He says, yes, of course. Commander, her Harama is, well, the commander of the flagship fleet of the Zenithian homogeny. Tau, you would kind of recognize that.
especially
Yeah.
with my dad's military background. At least the name sounds familiar.
Yeah, you're like, cool, we don't really work with the homogeny. You know, they're like out there on the rim doing their
Yeah.
thing, right? But, you know.
Okay. Well, I guess we got another bidder. All right.
We're very popular now.
Yeah, well, when your name's everywhere, people want to be around you. That's why I didn't want to be famous. Didn't we discuss this? And Tal turns to Jameer. We talked about this, right? This is why we didn't take any.
Want any eyes on us?
Yeah, okay.
And now the whole
Perhaps. Never mind.
All right, well, thank you, Dr. Minesh. Yeah.
Yes. He goes, yes. Well,
Thanks.
until tomorrow evening. And he says, thank you again for your help, Dr. Lamora. She beams from ear to ear.
Does he look sarcastic when he says that?
He looks sarcastic in the perfect bedside manner kind of way. Like, he doesn't mean it to be patronizing. Like, he genuinely means it like, thank you for your help. But he definitely treats her like she's maybe 12 or 13.
Unfortunately, everybody kind of
I
does.
can't.
That's why it's like I don't think he's genuine in his thanks. How about that? But you can
Yeah.
definitely tell there's a little, there's some undermining there.
Yeah. Okay.
She's clearly been the joke for the last week here with everybody
Yeah.
because that's how they got her to like participate. Probably was like giving her free reign of working in the hospital and taking care of her friends.
All right. I guess let's go figure out what we're doing. Who wants to go shopping?
Each of you like boop, boop, boop your cards on the way out, right? Like scan. All of you exit. You get the green light. There's no issues. Yes.
Before Alia heads out, like just because she's such a big empath, I'm pretty sure she picked up on his sarcasm. She goes, just to let you know, she could probably run circles around you with a scalpel and you wouldn't even know. So a little bit of respect. And what is it they say as a medical person? Was it a Hippocratic oath? Maybe that doesn't apply, but something about compassion. Perhaps you need it a little more, young man. And then walks out.
He's definitely probably older than you, and he kind of looks back like,
Oh, she doesn't
don't
care.
understand.
It's just
Yeah,
it was
he doesn't
very
understand
patronizing.
like why you're so upset about it, because like they treated her nice. She doesn't know they're making fun of her, right? So like all of the usual horrible people things.
Yeah.
She waves bye to everybody. Bye. As she leaves with all of you, she seems very happy. Like she knows everybody. A couple people snicker, but Alia, I imagine Alia's actions in the middle of this waiting area probably severely skew most people from saying anything loud enough where you can hear it at this point, because they saw that happen. And as all of you exit, you don't get very far because you are met by the sound of pattering feet of a young boy. He's in uniform. He's a cadet of some kind.
There's only one young boy we've ever faced, and no.
Nope, that's not true. There's
Not-
two young
True,
boys.
true,
It's
true,
just-
but
I was
none
gonna
of
say
them
he's not-
ever went well.
He might
None
be
of them went well.
15 or 16. You know, he's like budding, you might say. I'll take a culture test from anybody that wants to make one. The book calls for one, so
Don't have culture.
Yeah.
that's all right.
Not to me.
Hey, okay. You would know based on the pins that he's like wearing on this cadet uniform that he is a recent graduate. He's got a star for being a recent graduate. And he's in he has like a squadron pin. He's in the elite Nighthawk squadron. Which is like the flight squadron of the Third Horizon, which is
Wait,
stationed
Tal would
inside
know
of
what that pin
inside
looks
of
like.
Sky City. This, I was about to say, you would know. How about this? You would know that he's a pilot, but you would not know that it is for the Nighthawk Squadron, because that's very much a homogeny thing. And unless you have a homogeny background, you wouldn't know that, because it's their fleet, if that makes sense. But you
That's
would
fair.
definitely know he's clearly young, but he's in training. And he's already got some medals, which means he's probably accomplished in some way. I would definitely give you that much for sure.
I will say Tal is Zenithian and her dad is an ace pilot. So
Okay.
she's not completely unfamiliar
say-
with
I would say then you saw these same pins. Well, did your dad fly for the Nighthawk Squadron? I would imagine he would if he was an elite. If he was elite, I don't know if the timeline lines up for that, but we'll say no matter what. Maybe you saw an image or something in the past where your father, a young image of your dad, where maybe he also wore these pins. More than likely during the Portal Wars.
Yeah, I'm sure she might not know exactly where he comes from or anything like that.
Right.
But she recognizes
Him as a pilot.
he's
he's
he's definitely official.
Yeah, for sure. And he kind of comes up and he clicks his heels and he says, I bring orders for all of you. And he kind of hands over a kind of shiny, it's not even a piece of paper, it's another like holographic, like very nice note.
Oh. We take orders now?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is a woman, not a man. I am so sorry. It's just said young cadet, and I assumed. That is so wrong of me.
Yeah, man.
That is so wrong of me. I should have read farther.
Way better now.
Yeah, well, they didn't give the pronoun until 3/4 of the way down the paragraph.
Come on.
So she introduces herself. She says, "I am Cadet Sana Aristides," and she kind of, and she says, "Orders for you from the homogeny."
One more time. What was that name?
Sana Aristides. Aristides.
One more time.
Aristides.
Dot.
Mhm.
Just to clarify, you said the doctor, right? The one we were just talking to, said that our hostel was paid for by who?
Well, was paid for by the fleet commander of the entire homogeny.
Yeah.
Which was what was the last name?
Which was
Harama.
Harama.
Dope.
So, he hands it over, and he says, "Commander Harama, request your immediate presence." She kind of says, and she stands up straight.
You mean Aristides?
She would like private audience with you in the hospital gardens. Over.
We're never
Oh,
leaving
wait, that's
this
on the
hospital.
radio. Yeah. She's very clearly nervous. Like maybe this is the first major job she's been given.
You know, you don't have to say over if you're not on a radio.
Right. I'm sorry. That was a mistake. Stupid.
That's-
What else? Oh, Commander Harama also said that they would like a brief moment of your time would be a great honor.
Harama or Aristides?
She is Aristides.
Oh, she's Aristides.
She is Sana Aristides, who is bringing all of you
Oh,
a message from the homogeny. It looks to be Captain Harama herself. So
Maybe we should just wait in the gardens and let everybody come to us. 'Cause apparently we're such a big deal now.
she goes,
Yeah.
"Let
Be
me
as
escort you. It would
sassy
be
and
my
unhappy,
honor.
all of us.
Sure.
It is,
Lead the way.
if I can say off record, not like any of you are keeping record.
That's what we're like. No
There's no
one's
record
recording,
here.
child.
Off record, I think you are all the coolest.
Oh god. Icons.
I heard what you did. Blind jump out the other side, and your crew made it. You're the best pilot in all of the Third Horizon.
Tal is beat red.
We have a
Timir's
fan.
gonna swing his arm on her and just like
She goes,
point.
you know, when I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a pilot, and everybody told me that women can't be pilots. But look, you're the best pilot in all of the Third Horizon, and you didn't even train with homogeny. Wow.
Oh. Well, you know,
And you
there's a
two can
lot
be.
of
Oh,
luck
sorry.
involved. But
She goes,
just get to know your ship.
get to know my ship. That is so wise. Yes. How do you get to know your ship?
Spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah, a lot of time on the ship.
Yeah.
Well, it has been a great honor, Taltuma and crew. May I escort you to the gardens?
Yeah, please.
And they like turn, click their heels, spin, and like march in front of all of you. And like, excuse me, coming through. The cadets like pushing people out of the way to escort the four of you to the gardens.
Cal looks kind of mortified and is kind of trying to hide inside of Tamir's arm as they walk.
And the cadet like walks right up. And as you reach the gardens, all of you might even have to stop for a moment. The gardens have been cleared of people. There's nobody here. This is the first time in this massive hospital where you've not been met with people. This space has been cleared of folk. Around this garden, which is beautiful, it's a sand garden that's been raked to absolute perfection. Stones in place, stacked. And standing in the center is the commander. She has 10 I repeat, 10 very obvious homogeny guards standing around the gardens. And the commander says, or the cadet says, Commander. Yeah, salutes. She says, at ease, soldier. I present to you the crew of the Defiant. She seems so proud to be able to say it as if she might explode like a little firecracker. When she smiles and she turns and she looks at Tal one more time with kind of like a wanting of an approving grin, as if she's like doesn't even want to leave the presence of her hero. And she smiles and turns and walks out, leaving all 5 of you.
I love her so much.
I love her too, but Tal is not not
Tal's
a fan.
not here for it. Yeah,
Tal is not a fan.
You just got yourself a ward.
Yep, exactly. She thinks you're the coolest, Tal.
Oh
you
my
are the
god.
coolest.
By the way, why did you have to specify the bodyguards so well? Like, you're just like, do you expect us to pull some shit? Are we that predictable? Like, we're about to do
want
shit?
to be transparent about the level of security that was brought to this meeting.
Right.
That's it.
It's a symbol.
Yeah.
They find us powerful enough that they need 10
Thanks for that raid.
guards.
Welcome in, Raiders.
Hello.
And you all see a very, very beautiful woman. An elegant uniform, standing in the middle of this perfectly raked white gravel circle. A discreet gold lapel pin of the Homogeny Fleet insignia, which you saw on the cadet, is also on her. As well as another pin set. I'm not going to make you roll an observation, but you can roll. Oh, no, I think you would all know this because this is like general Third Horizon. It's like, why are there 50 stars on the flag? Like, everybody freaking knows this, right? Okay. So she's got her fleet pin, but then she's got a stylized crescent moon cut through with a thin line and topped with a 3-point star. Each point of that star representing Kua, Coriolis, and the remains of the Zenith. Each one has like a historical reference. But those are the only adornments, right? There's no jewelry. There's not a lot of gold or flash. These kind of very elegant robes with only the insignia pins that she wears as well. So these 10 judicators kind of stand around. And as you all walk in, she addresses each of you by your full names. She knows them through and through. She also smiles. This is her. She's
you know what? Since she knows our full names, this would be the first time that the rest of the crew ever hears Tal being referred to as Talia Tuma.
Yes, she says Talia Tuma. Right? The Al-Assad brothers. Right? She just kind of goes down the line. And Lumara has a last name, and I don't know it off the top of my head.
Akbion.
Thank you.
Don't
Lumara
ask me
Akbion.
how I know that.
Boom.
Yay.
Tal's the best.
Tal is the best. Iris is the best.
I'm bad.
She
with
actually
names.
keeps tracks.
Please have a seat. If you would like, of course. If not, I understand. I prefer to stand. It balances the space better, don't you think? She stands right in the middle of the gardens.
I guess
What-
so.
One thing, by the way, I wanted to say, if anybody was observant enough, this would also be the very first time that Alia doesn't recede when her full name is said. Like, she actually stands her ground. She doesn't basically flinch or any sign of discomfort at the fact that people know who she is.
Hey, this is not your game. This is not your stream.
There's a space kitten that wanders
There's a
through,
space cat, very
and all
clearly.
of a sudden, all the soldiers.
She's holding a white cat, and she's just like,
Oh no! Now we don't trust her.
No,
guys.
she's
No,
evil.
now we can't trust her at all.
Did we trust her before?
Well,
Okay, no.
Malik doesn't fucking trust anyone. Don't even. Malik don't trust nobody. I could be like, here's this innocent kitten missing a leg that literally can't do harm to anybody. He'd be like,
literal devil.
gonna turn us in.
It's a
Definitely
gin.
trying to screw us over.
Excuse me, I have seen a 3-legged cat fuck some shit up. Okay.
So she simply says to all of you, it is a great honor to meet you. Let me introduce myself properly. She says, I want to give you her whole name again, but I have to read it off the page because if I don't, I get it wrong. She says, I am Commander Din Harama. I manage the fleet for the Homogeny. I have traveled a long way. In your wake, I believe. I was investigating a strange occurrence at a prison on the other side of the Third Horizon a few weeks ago. Regardless of if you know anything about that, I have to say, I am thoroughly impressed. She looks right at Tao. She says, I've spent my whole life training fighter pilots. I've spent my whole life training regular pilots. There are very few of them. She says, I can say that I train a lot of freighter pilots, but maybe I've been doing it wrong this whole time because I have never seen a pilot successfully make a blind jump as well as you did.
I saw how much of my crew I actually lost, or at least most of it.
She says the fact that you came out the other side at all is what some would call a miracle. I like to call it skill. You know, if you ever decide you want to retire from being a freighter pilot, I have a place for you at my flight school as a teacher. But that's a conversation for another day. Today, I want to talk about something else. It has come to our attention that your time with this consortium has resulted in a fair share of unknown factors that have left all of you in quite a lot of danger. Kasha. Am I wrong in that? It kind of looks around when she says Kasha at all of you. Of course, Amara's like...
Hal's eyes narrow, just slightly.
She says, and the special branch agent that was claimed to be a traitor.
I don't mean to be rude, but what exactly is your point here?
My point is that all of you have seen with your eyes something that I cannot get my hands on. The inside of a white butterfly. You can continue to work for the consortium if you like, but I want you to know it would be our great honor to be patrons of the work that you do.
Well,
she says, in fact, I have some work that needs to be done by a daft crew, one I didn't think that I had. And she's like, I can't promise you silk sheets or the medical know-how to rebuild your limbs. But I can promise you that we won't give you an agent who is out to kill you when they are sworn to protect you. She says, all along the outer systems, things have been crumbling. I would like to send a crew to begin investigating some of the odd happenings amongst the First Come in these outer systems. Find the weak spots in the consortium. Figure out why it's crumbling. This would be the first cue to all of you that she does not know about the Nazarene sacrifice. Very clearly, the Homogeny has not gotten the blue disc.
yeah.
Only word that there's a white butterfly. Now, you know that her ship fleet has spent the majority of their time on the outskirts. So there's probably maybe whispers of a white butterfly. You know that you definitely saw one exiting Kua a year ago. So they're flying about. And if that more have gotten through that people don't know about, her troops could be the ones that may be seeing them or interacting with them. It's very clear that the consortium's rule is crumbling. We would like to figure out why. All of you have yet to fail them. And they have failed you on multiple occasions. I give you my word that that would never happen with us. I will be at the banquet tomorrow eve. I look forward to honoring you and the work that you have done. You can tell me then if you'd like, or I can open up the floor now for questions, or you can tell me what it is that you know.
You know, it seems like a lot has happened since we last had consciousness. We're going to take a little bit of time to kind of process everything before we start making decisions about our entire future.
I completely understand.
Yeah.
You did just wake up today, and I imagine that I was not the first person that came knocking at your door. Lamarcus, you were not. You were the third.
Thanks, Lamara.
She goes, well, just know I also deal in secrets and information. I'm happy to make a fair
Not very
trade.
well.
Malik just stares at Tamir.
I'm gonna make a roll
Shit.
to see if she heard you say that. She did not. She hears you whisper something and she kind of looks over and she says, like I said, the consortium has tried very hard to keep us out of matters, but they have no problem putting me and my crew on the far edges of the reach to protect them from whatever it is that's out there. I don't want their lies or their redacted paperwork. I want a first-hand account of what these ships are capable of. And the pairs of eyes in front of me are the only ones that have ever actually seen it, at least from my records. I am willing to trade you a great deal of information for what you know about the white butterfly. I'm willing to trade you a lot more if you decide to join our cause. Well, my time has come. She looks around. The guards kind of, again, check posture, and she says, I would say that I would go, but in fact, I need all of you to go.
Well, have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.
As you all exit the garden, the smell of fresh, real fruit, like real fruit, is growing here. Beautiful flowers and orchids and the sound of a koi pond just off in the corner as you all walk away. Maybe there's a silence, or does anybody have anything to say?
I feel like it's the most heavy silence.
Yep.
Heavy silence amongst the group as you walk and your feet carry you to the largest and most exclusive shopping district in all of the Third Horizon inside the monolith. It's beautiful. It takes you a while, but your travels are fine. Your conversation is tense. And all of you arrive outside of this shop. Exclusive, it says on the front. The doors are locked. You're going to have to be like escorted in the whole 9 yards to this tailor. There is a TV or a screen in this shopping district, big on a billboard, you might say, back behind you. It flashes all of your faces. All of you can't see it. It's behind you. But all of your faces are lit up on this screen. Heroes, they call you. To be honored, they say. The light, the first horizon, has been missing. Saviors of Coriolis. Just like you and me, says the propaganda. And as the five of you reach for the door to go decide your exclusive outfits for the banquet next week, we will cut and end here and finish our season 3 on the much anticipated ball episode that we have been talking about for quite a while. I promised them there would be one, and there will be. For our finale next week.
Well done,
Hell
Dot. Well
frickin'
fucking done.
yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Way to make us choose, dude.
You only get to choose one. I told y'all I dumped all my darkness points.
Yep. Oh,
And you don't have to choose. So here's the thing. You don't have to choose until the end of the banquet. So I can give y'all the week, or we can kick off season 4 with the choice.
I'm so interested in like how much the fucking the politics plays into this. Because some of the like as someone who runs Coriolis, some of the last names you dropped today are super duper important last names.
Yes, they are. And they
e-
super duper want all of you working for them and not the other person.
I think the most interesting one was the cadet's name.
After show.
Aristides?
Yeah. So that's after show talk though. So if you guys want the after show and you want to support this channel, check out that Patreon link down below. Join us over there. Get all kinds of behind the scenes exclusives, such as the after show, Dot's special lore dumps, our opinions on the characters, stuff that happened in the show, and all that fun stuff, as well as backstory and all kinds of crazy stuff. But for now, let's do our introductions. Get the hell out of here so we can shoot that after show. We'll start with Dot. Dot, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
You guys can find me online as Little Red Dot. I'm over there producing for Kobold Press. It looks like I'm forever gonna be GMing on Mike's channel, since we'll be running 2 games next season. But it's okay. One of them is this game, which makes it worth it and not work at all. And then you can go check out my Twitch, which right now is a little quiet. You can check me out on Thursday nights playing this game with Trooper called Divinity Original Sin. Don't know if you heard of it. No big deal. Not a small game. But if you like that game, you might not want to come watch Trooper and I play because we do it zero justice. We're there for shenanigans and debauchery. So, if you're into that, I got lots of that for you on Thursday night for Simply Divine with Trooper and Dot. And then check out my podcast, Stitch of Fate. It's edited by the extraordinarily talented Gnome and has some pretty sweet talent in it. It's been a raging good time and people seem really stoked. So check us out.
Sweet. We'll transition right over to Gnome himself. Gnome, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
I'm gonna make a very, very inappropriate joke
Go for it.
that was brought up on Gnome Brew. Crit Witch said, "Take it, Gnome," and the first thing that came to mind, I have to. I'm a bottom.
Or
He is a space bottom.
Oh, I have more jokes. I'm gonna not make that joke.
That's for the between
After
the
show.
between the show.
yeah.
Well, speaking of Gnome Brew, my name is Gnome. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, and I run a morning talk show with Eris Savad and Wally132, where we wake the fuck up together every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, having some coffee or whatever the fuck we feel like drinking, and talking TTRPGs, and again, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. I don't know. We have no idea. We literally just wake up and go, I don't know. Do you want to stream? All right, cool.
It's morning,
And then
right?
we're late. Yeah, it's morning at some point. Yeah. I'll just plug that for now.
Sweet. Well, the one of the thirds, I guess. Now it's not a half anymore. One of the thirds of that show. Eris, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Oh, hey, I'm Eris Savad. I make shit. I make pretty cool stuff, actually. I make dice trays and bags and etc. Accessories. you can find the stuff that I make at erisavad.com. I'm currently doing a pre-order, so if you had an eye on one of my brush rolls, pen rolls, utility rolls, what have you call them, now's the time to order, because I don't make them pre-made usually, but you know, now you can get a 100% washable dice tray on pre-order. They totally rock.
They do.
Anyways, it's funny because my pre-orders
Can
all
be
rock and
dice
geode themed.
Oh, can be
Ooh.
hat.
Oh,
Can be hat.
they can be hats.
But yeah, so
Bested hats.
there's
Bestest.
that. You can also find me on the Twitters at Stitch by Eris.
Fan freaking
I think
tastic.
that's it. Yeah.
Go buy those things and use
Please.
coupon code Hot Dice Daddy for 6.9% off and have yourself a nice time. Last but not least, KP, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hello, I'm KP. I'm wearing this fabulous hat, as you can see, made by
By Eris.
made by the wonderful Eris Vad. And excuse me, outside of this wonderful, wonderful show with this amazing cast, I do things. I do many things. I'm trying to figure out what I do more specifically, but if any of those things interest you, which is including talking about my culture, and if you want to hear Indian mythology talked about, come join our stream on Wednesday where my dad sits down, and we're currently going through the entire Ramayana, which is an epic adventure about one of our gods and his craziness. On top of that, I play games on my Twitch. I play various things on there. So any of that interests you, come join us there. I also have a couple Patreon exclusive shows that I'm trying to do as much as I can. And my Patreon also has a lot of like behind the scenes stuff. If you want to check out my photography, if you want to check out any of my other artistic endeavors, then do look it up over there. It's only $3 a month for you to get access to all of that. So there you go. Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Fan freaking tastic. And if you guys didn't
Buy
hear
this
the
hat.
announcement, buy that hat. That's true. If you guys didn't hear the announcement last week, we are continuing Void for a 4th season starting April something.
You're welcome.
Yes, you are welcome. This is not crowdfunded. This will be back to the 2 hours. And you'll have to deal with it. So we'll see you there. That will be the final season of Void. So
For sure. Like for real though.
Do
Like,
not miss it.
Actually,
Do not
the
miss it.
closeout season. 4
Yeah.
seasons.
Do not miss it.
do we get a musical?
In the movie.
So the movie comes after.
And a
It's
movie.
4 seasons in a movie. The
We're
movie
still
comes
waiting on
I
later.
that.
said musical.
There's a
Oh.
musical number in the
Musicals
movie.
can be music.
Yeah, there's a musical
Have you
number
ever
in
heard
the
of
movie.
Bollywood?
Yeah. Or
I mean-
or
God, how
Hollywood.
wonderful
We have
would
those.
that be?
I would be very okay with this.
Please do a Bollywood movie.
Yes.
Well, what it is it's the movie, and in it there's a Bollywood scene that is a musical. That's the whole.
Right.
Jesus Christ. We're done here. We're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for helping to crowdfund season 3 and for all of the hype for season 4 and the hype that you guys had fucking 4 seasons of this damn show.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Like I said, if you guys want access to behind the scenes exclusives, Patreon link down below. While you're down there, go check out our Discord, be a part of the conversation, be a part of the community. And if you are watching this over on the YouTubes, we do stream live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come hang out with us live, join the party, and have some fun. But that's it from us now. We'll see you guys next week. So from all of us to you guys, bye-bye.